Donnie, I want to spend time with my spouse, said Matt. I just don't know where I'm going to get it. I don't have the time. I'm running a whole division now, and I've got to succeed. Man, that story broke my heart. We were just trying to get a simple date night onto Matt's schedule. And really, it took moving heaven and earth for him to see and to do that which was most important. It's ironic, isn't it, that sometimes the things that we want the most actually end up being the things that we do the least, or we do it last. And oh gosh, how do you feel when that happens, right? It just feels like, when will it be my turn? I'm always sacrificing. And I've got to tell you that the person who gets to actually decide what's important is you. And the person who gets to decide what to do with their time is you. Let's own those choices. Today, we're going to be talking about how to do that. So, how can we build what we want? How do you do that? If you have ever watched anything, I'll give you a link here for one of the late greats. He's awesome and phenomenal. His name is Stephen Covey, and he described it this way, and perhaps you've seen the object lesson done before. That if you were given some large pebbles, some smaller pebbles, and some sand, and you were to put it into a container, and you started with the sand first, and then the smaller rocks next, and then the larger pebbles after that, it wouldn't fit. But if you were to actually take the same scenario and reverse the order in which you put the large pebbles, small pebbles, and sand in, you could actually fit all of it in there. And of course, the parallel is that our time is that way as well, right? That if we have the courage to say, hey, these are the important things, I'm putting that in there first. This is important, I'm doing that first, no matter what. Then we move and we put the things that are important but not as important, we put those in next. And then finally, all of those little things that either they're going to take care of themselves, or hey, it'd be nice if it happens, but no one's going to die if it doesn't. That really is how we should be prioritizing and creating our schedule. And a lot of you guys have been doing this in the form of a to-do list. And so to-do list is, could be something of this method here. But we're going to take a look at and dig into what Stephen Covey described as, identifying your big rocks, your medium rocks and pebbles, or, small to large, your top priorities to your smallest priorities, and moving forward into that. And really, those three categories, those big rocks, just to define that is, the big rocks, those are the most important things. That if these are going well, your life is going well. A lot of times, these are very important, but they're not always urgent. And so oftentimes, we just don't do them. We put them off because there's no one screaming in our face to get them done. I like to look at it this way. What are the top 5 things that you do to bring value to the world? And so that's at work and that's at home. What do you do to bring value? Our goal should be to spend 80% of our time doing those top 5 things. Next comes the pebbles. Now these pebbles, they're urgent a lot of times, but not always important. And so a lot of times these get put to the top, and these are other people's agendas. These are the things that happen from email or from bosses, right? These are the things that need to be done, but the reality is that they're supportive of the main thing. And of course, if we're not careful, we mess that up. But the goal is to keep the main thing, right? They're often a byproduct of those big rock priorities. These are meetings, it's administrative, it's email, it's those things that, again, they have to be done, but they're not meant to be the most important. on your schedule. And then of course is the sand. And these are, or the however you would classify that, but these things are neither urgent or important. This is the stuff that, it happens to you. A lot of it is reaction type of stuff. If it doesn't happen, nobody dies. Some of those things, maybe initiatives you'd like to do, but aren't necessarily the most important, could qualify here. And when we look at these categories, it's actually important for you to go along with me here that we're not just doing this for work. Like, this is life. When you manage your life, that's where we got to manage all of our time. And I'm not saying that every single moment has to be scheduled. As a matter of fact, I want you to have many moments that are not scheduled. But when we actually decide on what our priorities are, we put those in a spot. We need to honor that. And really, one of the biggest concentrations is being able to keep appointments, not that you set for others, because I'm sure you always keep those if you're a professional, right? But keeping the appointments with yourself. And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to categorize, and we're going to build two things right now. First, we're going to build our menu. And the menu is, these are the things that going back to those 8 areas of life, or those top 5 things that we're doing, we can pull from either of those. We're going to build a menu of things that we could be doing for each of those. So an example here is, for health, exercise is something that can be scheduled. Having healthy snacks and, buying those, and having meal prep time or walks, or there's so many different things that you could put in there, stretching, whatever. Like, I just put 4 just for the space, the sake of space and time. Prospecting, that's a big thing on my calendar. And prospecting can wear 1,000 different faces. And so, it could be calls or follow-up or presentations or thank you letters or emails or video marketing or whatever, right? But we need to build that menu out of all the different ways of prospect, right? Those are your ideas. Spiritual. What are the things that you could be doing spiritually, right? You get the idea. I could meditate, I could pray, I could read, I could worship. And then, family, what is it? Dinner, dates, adventure time, kid dates. It's reading as a family, giving the kids a bath. So I want you to do that. We're gonna build out our menu of those areas of importance in our life. And then the next thing that we're going to do, and I'll show you my example in just a moment, but the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to we're going to build out, we're going to color code those, and we're going to put those in a place of big, medium, and small rocks, just like the great Stephen Covey would tell us to. And the idea is that we're not going to build accidentally here. And if we're not careful, though, a lot of what we get to experience is accidental. So here you're looking at my menu. So this top menu here is a color-coded menu. And those are my top 5 things, and I had 2 more. And so for me, I realized that I give value to this world by creating content. So what are the ways that I do that? Well, I create courses or videos or podcasts, or I have a Monday Mojo, which you should be a part of. Or I'm writing, a book, live video speaking. Those are the things I'm doing for content, teaching and training, right? Groups, individuals, courses, business growth. I like to actually, this is what I label prospecting because because I like to identify I need to identify the people I'm going to be reaching out to. I have different connections that I have labeled, and then presenting and getting referrals and all of those things. So you get the idea. So we're going to build out our menu of really ideas of what the action would look like, instead of just saying, "Oh, I'm prospecting." Well, okay. Well, what kind of actions would that be? And we're going to put that on a menu. Then below, we're going to build out, are these big rocks, medium rocks, and pebbles? And don't get confused. I think I've switched up the rock types throughout, but big, medium, and small. What's most important? And for me, you can see these things: kid dates, my wife dates, Jesus time, building my courses, and then all these red. These are all prospecting activities. Courses again, God time. So those are my biggies. The things that support that, those would be considered medium rocks. So email, pay, planning, customer service, And you can see that I just basically, all I did was I just grabbed one of these up here, I copied it, Control C, and then I came down and I put it, you know, under which place it belonged. And so if I had, you know, pray, I would put that into the place where it belonged at. And so I want you to do those two things. That's basically where we're going to be at. Now, this is literally you telling yourself, hey, these are the ways that I can get to where I'm going. So these are really the tactical part of the strategy. And so actually, going back to where we're at, that's what I'm going to ask you to do. Create your own menu and color code it. So we're going to create your menu and color code it. Then we're also going to make sure that you build it out. Big, medium, and small rocks. Big, medium, small rocks. Big, medium, and small rocks. Then cross-check it with all of the things that you do, right, from that wonderful 2-week activity I had you do before. So all of the things that you actually do, I want you to cross-check it. If there's anything else that belongs in those big, medium, or small rocks, go ahead and pull it from that list and put it on there now. And so now, again, now we have all of the building blocks necessary for you to build this wonderful thing called your life. And so, so that's where we're going now. So get those building blocks ready. The 2 sheets are attached for you to build the menu, and then also to create big, medium, and small rocks. Go ahead and do that, and then share it with someone. You can actually reply to an email at the end of this. We'd love to see it. So looking forward to it.